All right. A little loud. Good here. All right, we're going to turn down here. All right, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Gerke Field here on the beautiful campus of the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point for this afternoon's Central Wisconsin Small Conference football game. It is the visiting Assumption Royals coming in at 4-1 overall, 3-0 in the Central Wisconsin Small Conference. They are head coached by Jeff Sullivan. Going up against the home Pacelli Cardinals, 1-4 overall, 1-2 in the Central Wisconsin Small Conference. Head coach Drew Nelson. Again, good afternoon, everyone. Steve Maves alongside Brendan Retzloff and Paul Jaglinski on this gloomy, overcast, cold Saturday afternoon, but a lot to look forward to if you're an Assumption Royal fan. But before we get into both these teams, here, thank our pregame sponsor, Auto Select, Stevens Point's best choice for auto repair, maintenance, and tires. Complete auto repair services with locations on Church Street and Highway 10 East in Stevens Point. No matter your automotive needs, look to Auto Select, and you're good to go. The Auto Select on Highway 10 East might be a little bit more difficult to get to with all the construction going on, but Assumption made their way here, found their way here, and it should be a phenomenal game here this afternoon. Pacelli coming off their first win of the year last week against Rosholt, and Assumption a domination against Iola Scandinavia last week, 49-8. Paul, good to have you with us, and we'll see what we can accomplish here today.
It's always great to be back here at Gerke. It's since they've redone the field again. For those of you that haven't seen it, and hopefully it comes through on camera today, the field looks in spectacular shape. They've cleaned it up with some logos. They've added some new kind of run-out areas. The scoreboards look fantastic. So compliments to Stevens Point, I think it's park department, and to the folks for setting up Gerke. Like the turf looks great. The game looks great. And again, you started by saying it was a gloomy, cold day, but again, it's starting to feel like fall. It's starting to feel like football weather. It's amazing to believe that we are in week 6. You got 3 weeks left and we're in the playoffs right away. It's insane.
Yeah, 2/3 of the way through the season after the game tonight. There's a lot on the line this afternoon for at least the Assumption Royals. Pacelli needs to win to be able to help their cause to continue to get into the playoffs. They have 2 winnable games to end the year, Iola and Loyal. But if Assumption does pull off a win tonight, we'll get into it more during the broadcast, but they will clinch a playoff spot and possibly their first conference title since joining the WIAA in 2000. So a lot on the line here this afternoon. It is going to be national anthem time here in just a moment. We'll hear from our friends over at Auto Select and then come back with our starting lineups and opening kickoff. You're watching high school football exclusively on Zaleski Sports.
At Auto Select, we have one goal: to be your choice for repair, service, and tires.
We know how important your vehicle is to you. That's why we put your needs first. Our employees are not just well-trained to fix your vehicle, they're skilled in providing the very best in customer service and exceeding expectations. Get the trusted service you deserve, as well as free loaner vehicles, 3% Auto Select rewards, and a nationwide warranty at our 11 convenient locations.
At Auto Select, you're good to go. At Auto Select, we have one goal: to be your choice for repair, service, and
As an
tires.
athlete, there's one constant that remains the most important aspect of your game: injury prevention. Roberts Physical Therapy now offers the Pineries Running Lab, your one-stop running center focusing on working with runners to prevent injuries and enhance your performance. From running exclusive sports like cross-country and track and field to running inclusive sports like football, basketball, baseball, and soccer, let Roberts Physical Therapy's Pineries Running Lab meet you at the track, your home, or the field and help you prevent injury and keep on running. Call Roberts Physical Therapy with locations in Amherst, Plainfield, and Wisconsin Rapids. As an athlete,
First things first with Mid-State Technical College. Dual credit programs earn you college credit in high school. Then choose a path that suits you. Use your skills to start your career or transfer to a university to continue your degree. Choose a new career. Transition easily and quickly by upgrading your skills. Or continue your education with dozens of classes to get you on your path. No matter your stage of the game, your first move is Mid-State Technical College.
To me, the perfect run is when things start to get tough and I'm trying to keep my pace going and I hit this moment where I just quit thinking about what I'm doing. I've heard surgeons mention that as well, that during their best surgeries, you're kind of in just a pure flow. You know, my goal with patients is to try to help them get back to doing what they want to be doing. To me,
customize your next apparel order with Maida Custom Apparel of Stevens Point. Visit us today for custom baseball and softball apparel. Need help with a design? We have you covered. Our highly skilled staff will turn your idea into a reality with great quality screen printing. Or choose from a variety of embroidery options today. Visit us at our physical store or online at maidacustom.com.
It sounded amazing today.
Welcome back to Gerke Field here in Stevens Point. The starting lineups first for the Assumption Royals. Again, 4-1 overall. That lone loss came in week 2 against the Pepin-Alma. Don't remember their mascot, but Eagles maybe? Cardinal Eagles.
Let's go Eagles.
Eagles,
I like
think
Eagles.
it is. Yeah. Going through the Assumption starting lineup. Assumption will receive to start our game here today, but again, I'd like to thank our friends over at Auto Select. Stevens Point's best choice for auto repair, maintenance, and tires. Complete auto repair service with locations on Church Street and Highway 10 East in Stevens Point. No matter your automotive needs, look to Auto Select, and you're good to go. Along with a conference championship possibly on the line, as well as a playoff berth, Nick Lieberg, 34 yards away from surpassing 2,500 rushing yards in his career. And so realistically might get that on the opening drive. So 24-66 in career rushing yards, 25 touchdowns. And so it's going to be fun here today to see that, as well as possible playoff berth in a conference championship.
This field knows a few things about having a real stud running back who's done some special things on it. So it's kind of a fitting spot for Nick to be able to come and take a look at it. It's got a little bit of shades of Mr. Cashton, if you think about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Last year, talked to Coach Sullivan about it last week after their win against Iola Scandinavia. Asked him, do you really have to get your guys going on a Saturday afternoon, 1 o'clock kickoff, to different than a 7 o'clock kickoff? He said it's Pacelli. It's not gonna be much needed to get them hyped up. Last year took 2 on the chin. Last year against Pacelli, 49-20 in week 4, 46-14 in level 1. Both of those games happening here, and so it's maybe looking for a little bit of a revenge game for Assumption.
Yeah, a little bit of an interesting piece. I know that Assumption had a few kids out this week from practice in terms of where it goes, with a little bit of illness, a little bit of injury in terms of where that goes. So I'll be curious to see on how sharp that is. Does that practice time help to recover, or do they come out a little bit sharp from that regards?
Yeah, absolutely. And Pacelli being announced, Brock Buren caught the final one. Brock having himself a nice season this year. 56, no, that's not Brock. 102 rushes, 601 yards, 7 touchdowns. He had 7 touchdowns on the year. He had 5 last week at Rochelt. So to just kind of put that into perspective, Brock's one to watch out for. Very good athlete for football, basketball, and baseball. And you'll obviously have a lot of those in these small schools, and Brock is no different.
Steve, it'll be interesting to see. So with Pacelli, we know they lost a lot from last year. Obviously, we talked about how solid they were. It's kind of a younger team that's going ahead and finding your groove. So last week you play Rochelt. You go ahead and get that offensive momentum rolling. You talk about the fact that they need to go ahead and win a couple ball games to get themselves in a tournament position. The question now is, can you use that momentum, if you're Pacelli, to build forward? And if your Assumption, do you get caught looking ahead with the hype of, hey, I can win a conference and Nick can go ahead and get it some yardage, or do you come out and can you focus and take care of business? I think it's a really fascinating matchup, and I think that early momentum shift, whoever kind of gets off to that start, really has a chance to take control of this game early.
Absolutely right. And Assumption averaging 37 points a game, giving up 16.5. Again, a lot of those coming in that loss to Pepin-Alma on the year. They shut out Nacita in week 1, lost to Pepin-Alma, gave up 34, gave up 20 to Pittsfield, 20 to Marathon, and 8 last week. So Andrew Van Order to kick it away left to right. We're about to get underway. Ryan Shaw and Kate Stats back to receive. And Van Order with a high end over-end kick. Ryan's going to let it bounce at about the 11-yard line. And get a head of steam. He's going to be taken down there. And a nice tackle by number 30, Peyton Fleece. And that's where the Assumption Royals will start their first possession.
Really nice kick coverage for Pacelli. Went ahead and Shaw's pretty dangerous back there. Really nice job.
Jack Klott, the quarterback for Assumption, in his third year starting. Got a couple of snaps his freshman year. And Jack surpassed 1,000 yards last week, I should say. And the usual backs, Stats, Lieberg, Manny Schultz, hands it up, and going to be bottled up there. Lieberg's going to go backwards and lose a yard. So now he's going to need 35 yards.
Nice tackle on the play by number 53, Colin Myers.
That was a nice job getting into the backfield for Pacelli. Quickly back up to the line for Assumption. Joey Moyer in at tight end. Stats to the right. Lieberg behind. Schultz to the left. And Ryan Shaw, the receiver, to the near side.
In the yardage update, Lieberg now 25 yards away.
Manny Schultz off the right side, spinning for close to a first down. He needed 11, got 11.5 and a first down for Assumption. Nicely done on the right side of that offensive line for the Royals.
Looks like the tackle on that was number 17, Bennett Eckendorf.
And again, quickly up to the line. Klott looking over to head coach Jeff Sullivan, who was as chipper as ever when I went over to talk to him before the game. Excited for this one here tonight. Kate Stats trying to get the edge with a stiff arm. Bounces. Van Order trucks him down after he gains about 8 on the play, 7.5. And a nice run by Kate Stats, who last week led the team in rushing with 133 yards and a touchdown.
One of the things you can see in this game is that the Assumption offensive line and then their backs, whether it be Lieberg or Cade Stats or even Manny, they're big, fast, powerful athletes, Steve. So over the course of the game, I think constantly that wear down tackling them really is something that we'll have to see and where it goes. A really nice play tackle on that by number 18, Jason Maywick?
Jamison Mayick?
Mayick?
Mayick. Third down. Lieberg's carried it twice, has lost 2 yards. Third down coming up for the Assumption Royals. Manny Schultz in motion, going to pitch it out to Manny, trying to get the edge. He does. A lot of green grass in front of him. The 50 gets a big block by Shaw into Pacelli territory, past the 40, inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. First down Royals.
Tackle by number 4 on the play. Logan Mendyke on the tackle.
First down Assumption.
See Mendyke family up above the scoreboard here to our left. Mendyke there, Cheryl Tire Plaza to our right. It's a beautiful place. You mentioned it earlier. They have really put this field into some of the top ones around. Klott on the carry to the 30-yard line, gain of 8 on the play. 2nd and 2 coming up.
Steve, we're very fortunate in the area where it seems like we're getting a lot of turf fields. Some of the turf fields look really nice. Some of them don't, in terms of where it goes or the way they're installed. But everything they've done with this particular field has really been just the right way. What a spectacular facility.
Yeah, absolutely. Put the new turf in this summer. They got soccer. They have lacrosse. They've got football. They've got it all here at the university. Manny Schultz off the right side. He's going to be taken down again along the far side by Mendyke, and another first down for the Royals.
If you remember right, they used to have the logos that were kind of right on the field. They've got the advertising now off the field.
Yep.
You've got the Pacelli Cardinal logo, obviously, the Pointer logo, the Splash Panther. It's really done right.
Yeah, very, very clean, very nice and clean. Nothing against Stevens Point Orthopedics that they still have here, but those logos that they had before were just gaudy. Lieberg off the left side. No, that's Stats. And he's going to be bottled up there again. The left side struggling for the Royals to start off here. No gain, no loss to the 25-yard line.
Number 2, Brock Bierenkott got in, got low, got around his legs, had a great tackle on that. Really, really well done.
Brock, 63 tackles coming into the game today. And it's going to be 2nd and 10 from the 25-yard line for the Royals. Just underway. 3 minutes gone by first quarter. I guess first half too.
Assumption with a nice little methodical drive down the field. That's kind of what you'd expect for them.
Clot off the right side, and going to gain about 2 or 3 on the play. The one thing that a lot of these smaller schools don't have that Assumption has as a luxury is a kicker like Mason Kubis, who I don't know if he would attempt one from this far, but he is one that can put a leg into it if needed at a certain point.
You know, it's always one of those deals where I often wondered, was Clara his sister or Mason the better kicker? We never got a chance to figure it out, but my money's still on Clara, just as an FYI.
Clot pitches it out to Stats. Into the backfield, Bierenkot can't bring him down. He's going to be roped down there at the 20-yard line. Another nice tackle by Bierenkot. Pardon me, that was Van Order on the initial tackle. 4th down coming up and 5.
Cardinals did a great job of forcing that wide. So Assumption tried to get wide and get up the field, but multiple Cardinals flowed to the ball and just kept forcing them out. Really a nice group effort. Now puts in a 4th and 5. Great opportunity for Pacelli to make a stop, get himself off the field. For Assumption, we've got a big momentum play here.
Yeah, this is one of those that they try and draw Pacelli off sides. Manny Schultz standing right next to Nick Lieberg in the backfield. 4th and a long 5. Clot's going to keep it himself, roll out to his right, still looking. He's going to dump it out to Stats, makes the catch inside the 15 to the 14, 11-yard line, 1st down Royals.
What a terrifically patient play by Jack. He went ahead and rolled out. He was kind of a run-pass read, see what he had, waited for that defender to go ahead and suck up to him, and then threw a nice little dart for a gain of 6 when he needed 5. Well done.
Had Joey Moyer going to the flag. They scored on that play last week on the flag route, but just dumped it off there to Cade Stats.
That's the luxury of having a 3-year starting quarterback right there.
Clot off the left side, looks to pitch it to Stats, to the 5, and into the end zone, touchdown. Cade Stats from 11 yards out, perfectly timed pitch by Clot, and the Royals are on the board here in the first quarter.
Scored and lost his shoe on the play, which is he ran so fast he ran out of his shoes. Is that what we can say on this?
I think so. Absolutely. That was a very nice, methodical drive by the Royals. Started down deep in their own territory. Gained, again, the biggest play of the game so far, that 4th down conversion. And then they reward Cade for making that catch with a touchdown here with his 6th of the season.
Well, a great individual effort by Cade to go ahead and shed a couple tacklers on the way into the end zone there as well. That's just very well done.
Mason Kubis in to attempt the PAT. Low snap. The hold is good, and the PAT is wide right. And with 7:24 to go in this opening quarter, Assumption 6, Pacelli nothing. You're watching high school football on Zaleski Sports.
If you lose direction, you can grab my hand. I'll be the one behind you to say no. One-man band. Just follow your dreams and keep your promises.
We're all different, but we all want great health insurance. See why we're rated #1 in service, coverage, and affordability in Central Wisconsin.
Welcome back to Stevens Point. Taking a look again back at that touchdown. Jack Klotz on the pitch, and again, as you mentioned, breaking a couple of tackles. Cade is as strong as they come, and nicely done by Cade Stats and the Assumption Royals.
You know, again, for those of you watching at home, and we appreciate you all who take advantage of watching Zaleski Sports. You had the opportunity to go ahead and see the replay on that. I know there's a lot of services that stream in terms of where it goes, but if I can humbly brag for a second, one of the things that absolutely makes Zaleski Sports one of the absolute best is the way that they're able to coverage, the way that we're able to go ahead and provide you with replays. You know, the announcing that we get from Steve, the occasional dad joke that you get from me. Again, Zaleski Sports really working hard to go ahead and bring you a great game day field experience. So if your Assumption, now you're up 6-0. Kick the ball to Pacelli. If you're Pacelli, how do you respond? What's kind of important for Pacelli on this drive?
Don't have a 3-and-out. I mean, that I saw that last night in Nakusa. Nakusa had a huge stop on 4th down. They ended up winning by 36, but they had a big stop on 4th down and one had a turnover on downs. They went 3-and-out right away, gave the ball right back. But for Pacelli, just a sustaining drive coming out of giving up a touchdown.
No turnovers, pick up a couple first downs, because if not, it could get late early. A little bit of a pooch kick here by Kubis.
Going to be picked up by Pacelli. Going to be gobbled up there by 74, Thomas Honham. And on the return, Ben Westrick. And now Andrew Van Order and company coming out for Pacelli's first offensive possession here tonight. Again, the running back, obviously, got to watch out for Brock Bierenkot. Van Order on the year, 25 of 42 through the air, 298 yards and a touchdown to go along with 5 interceptions. Very similar offensive sets here.
You know, Steve, I wouldn't be surprised, though, to see Pacelli try to go ahead and test this Assumption secondary and to take a shot down the field at some point during this drive.
First one to Bierenkot, tries to get the edge, and Ryan Shaw comes up and makes a nice tackle. Ryan, the third leading tackler on the year. That's tackle number 29 on the year for Ryan Shaw, to go along with 3 tackles for losses. Ryan has all 3 interceptions for the Royals this year in his defensive back spot.
Yeah, Ryan does a little bit of everything for this team. You know, wide receiver, obviously, one of their more important defensive player. He's a team captain, just really a great senior leader to have for the Royals.
Van Order back under center, split backs behind him. Going to roll out to his right, and still looking. Pressure is on, and Van Order is going to get past Manny Schultz there and then be taken down from behind by Walker Livernash. Walker's really played a huge part. He's been coming along week by week, but Walker Livernash has been a key part for this defense for Assumption.
You know, Steve, that play call really doesn't surprise me. I definitely felt like Pacelli was going to come out and test this Assumption secondary. Mason Kubis on the in coverage really did a great job, took away that wide receiver, was 18 down the field for Pacelli. They were looking to go ahead and hit on the strike, but Kubis was definitely up to the task on that play.
That's Jamison Mayak again for Pacelli, 3rd and 5. And up the middle, no, near side. They had me fooled. And Brock Bierenkot up to the 45-yard line, first down, Pacelli.
Tackle by number 7, Jack Clott on the play. But again, I think really nice misdirection play and a good job by the officials. A lot of times, we're not the only ones that get lost on that play. The officials get lost on that. So many times you hear an inadvertent whistle. So compliments for the crew to go ahead and find that football, as we could not, unfortunately.
Yeah, I had no idea where it was. And Walker Livernash is going to have to exit stage right for Assumption, and they're going to need a new linebacker. 55. Xavier Hoffman is going to move back from the defense line to linebacker. And it's 1st and 10 for Pacelli at the 45-yard line. Working left to right, 5.5 to go in the first quarter. Van Order back under center, a hand up right up the middle, and the Royals ready for it. 79, Brad Jorgensen, who just checked in with a tackle there for Assumption. And 17, Bennett Eckendorf on the carry for the Cardinals.
Pacelli really trying to go ahead and test the middle of that Royals line. A little bit of misdirection, but kind of pound the ball up the field. It's something that we saw last year quite a bit with Cashton, that they're having some early success on. So this is exactly the type of change field position drive that the Pacelli Cardinals were hoping to get.
I formation instead of split backs this time on the left side for Bierenkot, and right there is Cade Stats, the leading tackler for the Royals, or the second leading tackler. Tackle number 47 on the year for Cade. 3rd down and long coming up.
Shaw also in on the tackle to go ahead and wrap him up and make sure that he didn't get a chance to turn forward.
And coming in now to relay the play is Jamison Mayak. 3rd down and a long 5, maybe 6. Ball near midfield. 4 receivers set this time for Pacelli. Van Order back under center. Back to pass. Pressure's on. Throws it out, and it's going to be caught. It's going to be short of a first down, but nice catch by Asher Jordan. And it's going to be 4th down and 2 yards to go for the Cardinals.
So he went ahead and snuck that ball in there between the coverage of number 2, Manny Schultz, and number 26, Nick Lieberg. So kind of a nice little gain. Picked up 5 yards when they really, needed about 6 in terms of where it goes. But it sets up now, I think, a pretty manageable 4th and 1. Would not surprise me to see Pacelli go for it. Also wouldn't surprise me to see them perhaps back out of this and get into a punt. I think the coach has got a lot of options here.
4th and 2 for Pacelli. Nearly got Assumption to jump off sides. And to Bierenkot off the left side. Runs into his own lineman, and they're going to stop him on 4th and 2. Good penetration by the Royals defensive line, knocking the lineman back into Bierenkot, and it's a turnover on downs back to the Royals.
Number 76, Kenny Golot, got in there and was the first man to make the hit on that play.
Nicely done. Yeah, Golot just threw either the center or the left left guard right into Brock Bierenkot, and the Royals have the football back, 3:38 to go in the first quarter. Doesn't reach very far. All right. 1st and 10 for Assumption. Ball at the Royals' 48-yard line. Working right to left, up 6-0. And whistle blows. And just didn't get it off in time. A delay of game on Pacelli, or excuse me, on Assumption.
You know, that's a little bit of a frustrating one, I'm sure. The Coach Sullivan's gonna talk to the team about that for 2 reasons. One, you know, it's the first play of the series, so you got to get off the field and on the field to get yourself hustled through. But second of all, when you're such a dynamic running offense the way that Assumption is, those extra 5-yard penalties really hurt you in terms of where that goes.
1st and 15 now for Assumption. Ball at the 42-yard line. Claude under center, in motion, going to hand it up to Lieberg off the left side. He's going to gain a few.
You know, on that 4th down play, Steve, it's really the Assumption was very close to going ahead and jumping off sides on that. And it's interesting, just kind of a reminder for our fans at home, it's not the NFL where you can jump off and back on. Once you break the neutral zone in high school football, it's an immediate penalty.
Yeah, and we might look back at that and as a turning point in this football game where Assumption was able not to jump off sides. Manny Schultz off the right side, tried to get the outside, and stiff arm going to be taken down by Ethan Cohort, and it's 3rd down and long coming up for Assumption.
So, you know, again, we talk about why is that 5-yard penalty so important. You don't think that it really is, but now you're talking 3rd and 8. Well, you know, they picked up 7 yards. Instead of being 3rd and 3, you're now facing a spot where you're 3rd and long. Perhaps you have to throw the ball for a team that doesn't throw it a whole lot. And if you don't convert, you're looking at punting the ball back to Pacelli.
Clot back under center. 2:40 to go. 2:41 to go. And Clot's going to keep it himself. And off the left side, nowhere to go. Kind of miscommunication on the play call. 4th down coming up.
It'll be interesting to see as Pacelli gets in, or as Assumption gets in that backfield. Again, Manny Schultz is pretty close to not coming set. He's got his feet chopping forward, and again, if you're coming forward, that's an illegal shift. So be curious to see if Assumption gets themselves in that issue, or if they get a chance to settle in terms of where it goes.
Kate Stats back to punt it away for Assumption. Mason Kubis, the gunner, to the near side. And Kubis now moves up to the line. Stats with a line drive punt. It's going to bounce. Van Order's going to watch it trickle and get all the way inside the 10-yard line. And a nicely done by Kate Stats. And that's where Pacelli will start their next possession. Heartland Farms is a 5th-generation potato and vegetable farm producing varieties of chipping potatoes and currently farming 27,000 irrigated acres and growing. They're currently the cream of the crop in the potato farming business. Learn more at heartland.farm. That is heartland.farm.
I was listening on Tuesday night when you were talking about Heartland Farms. I think they sponsored the post-game show. I didn't realize it was a collection of multiple family farms. And again, 27,000 acres. That's to quote Seinfeld, that's a lot of potatoes.
It is a lot. And right now, perfect potato picking weather. Not hot, not raining. It's time to get out there and do the job. And Joey Moyer looks like in the backfield, down inside the 5-yard line goes Bierenkot. They're going to give him forward progress at the 5, but Joey Moyer gobbles them up, and it's 2nd down and long coming up.
Any truth to the rumor that their family pet is Spuds McKenzie?
Could be.
Our producer's pretty young. He doesn't even know who Spuds McKenzie is. He's like, what are we talking about here, guys?
Got Auto Select and Heartland Farms on the chain link fence back there behind us. Yeah, got it in the top left of your screen. Pitches it out to the near side. Cuts it to the inside. Going to be taken down there. Eckendorf on the carry. Kraus on the tackle.
Yep, number 50, Gunnar Kraus was the first man to make a hit. But again, a host of Cardinals there, in terms of where it goes. So, again, now you talk about bringing up a 3rd and 8. You talked about the fact that you really can't have the 3 and out. The great punt by Stats was able to shift the field position. Huge conversion here for Pacelli. If not, you're looking at giving this Royals high-powered offense the ball back probably inside your own territory.
40 seconds to go in this first quarter. 3rd and 8 from the 9. And on the misdirection again, Bierenkot right up the middle. Clot brings him down, but gains 11. They're going to give him about 12 on the play. 1st down, Pacelli.
Nice tackle by Clot because he was the last line of defense. If he could have gone ahead and juked him or broke that tackle, he still might be running.
25 seconds to go. Again, a huge hole off that right side. And Bierenkopf picks up a first down, and Coach Nelson says, let's run it down to the end of the first quarter. And that is what it looks like they're going to do. Clock stops.
You know, Steve, if you're Coach Nelson, you really got to be going ahead and feeling like you had a big success here in the first quarter. I know you gave up that opening drive touchdown, but you flipped the field. You've controlled the football. You've kind of found some things that can work. You're right in this thing. I mean, again, I thought a pretty nice quarter for Pacelli. And, again, assumption if you're the Royals, you're happy to have the lead after the first.
12 minutes gone by here in Stevens Point. 6-0 Assumption. We'll hear from our sponsors. Come back with the final, or with the second quarter on Zaleski Sports.
Hello, Wisconsin. Phelps Dairy Store in Stevens Point is your spot for family fun, Wisconsin style at the farm. Come have an ice cream or some of their daily made fresh cheese curds while observing the robotic barn milking the cows. Ask for a tour of the farm or let the kids see the cows up close. Various Wisconsin-made dairy and beef products, seasonal decor, and outdoor activities are just the start of the family fun that awaits you at the Phelps Dairy Store, just a half mile from Walmart in Stevens Point. Phelps Dairy Store, food, family, and fun. Hello.
Many things have changed over the past 50 years, but one thing has remained the same. Bone & Joint's dedication to providing high-quality care, helping people throughout Wisconsin move better with less pain. Whether you need orthopedic, sports medicine, spine, pain management, podiatry, or physical therapy services, you can count on Bone & Joint's experienced providers to lead the way. Call us and make your appointment today. Bone & Joint, keeping lives in motion for over 50 years. Many think
this is Monogram, Plover, Wisconsin, feeding America. And these are the people who work here, proud of their jobs and the products they make.
I started out as anybody else would, on the line, third shift, and I worked my way up to first shift and then eventually operator positions.
Monogram Foods, come grow with us.
Welcome back to Gerke Field here in Stevens Point. First quarter just cruised by. It's only 1:22 in the afternoon on a relatively beautiful or relaxing afternoon. Very calm, I guess. Bierenkopf with a gain of 1.5 yards here for Stevens Point. Pacelli.
You know, it's interesting. You talk about that Saturday afternoon game in terms of where it goes. We were kind of making the comments in between while we were hearing from our sponsors about the Assumption crowd and how the student section is not it's not a robust student section today. Let's say it at that, given the stakes that are on the line. But I think the Saturday afternoon game has a lot to deal with that versus the traditional Friday night lights.
Back to pass as Van Order gets hit hard. Claude with the interception. Down to the 25-yard line, and Andrew Van Order is down. A huge hit on the throw, and just lollipopped it up there for Jack Klott, and Assumption will take over deep inside Pacelli territory. A nice, clean hit. And we'll take a look at it. Yeah, relatively clean hit on the pass. Let's take a look at it. Yeah, nicely done. Nice, clean hit.
It looked like maybe it was number 55, Xavier Hoffman, that was perhaps in on the pressure on Van Order to take a look at it. But there's the turnover that you're looking for. Now let's see if Assumption can punch it in.
Klott is going to keep his legs moving, turn a nothing gain into 2 on the play.
You know, Steve, we talked about how this game had an opportunity to potentially get away early had one team had a chance to really grab the chance of momentum one way or the other. Well, right now, Assumption's got a chance to really go ahead and throw an early dagger and get themselves up perhaps 2 touchdowns in this game if they can go ahead and take advantage of the short field.
2nd and 8 for the Royals. Assumption back in action next Friday against Loyal. Pitches it out, Manny Schultz near side. And Cowart can't bring him down to the 20 of the 15. Flag comes in, and it might be on Kate's stats as it looks like Jamison Mayak was throwing his hands up looking for a hold, and he might get his wish.
I'm not sure if they're going to get a hold or if they're going to maybe get stats for that block in the back as he came right on the side of him. We'll see what the indication is, but I would definitely venture to guess it's going to be on Assumption.
And they look over to the Pacelli side. Need fall cleanup supplies? Get it right down here on Highway 10 at Fleet Farm. Check out their deals on mowers, carts, power equipment, grass seed, and more. Get everything you need in one stop. Get all at Fleet Farm. They talk about mowers and carts and power equipment and all this stuff. Sometimes it just helps with the manual labor. Get a rake. Rake up your own yard with the leaves falling soon.
Steve, I've often said, Fleet Farm's a man's mall. If they don't sell it at Fleet Farm, I don't really need it. So
Lieberg off the left side and going to fall near a first down. The thing about that hold, and maybe you could explain it a little bit better, holding is a spot foul. And so Manny Schultz had a nice carry. Cade's hold came at about the first down marker, and so they just moved it back, and it was second down and 9 yards.
Yeah, it was one of those deals where you essentially where the hold happened, it was just kind of like getting a replay of the down in terms of where it goes. Obviously, the Royals were able to go ahead and pick it up. Now they've converted. Looks like we're going to have a first and
one of the fun ones.
Yeah, you got to be first and 10.5 so they can actually pick up a first down without catching the touchdown here.
And the clock stops for Mitchell Grover, who is one of the leading tacklers or one of the leading players on this Pacelli team. Last week, he had 13 tackles in Rosholt, and Andrew Van Order checks back in. Good to see Andrew back out there after that big hit.
I was just going to say the same thing, Steve. It's one of those deals where so many of these players going both ways. Your quarterback, your linebacker, it's one of those deals where just tough Iron Man football.
Off the right side, Nick Kleberg, man, oh man, as strong as it comes as he falls near the 5-yard line, gains 6 on the play.
Looks like that was number 24, Pacelli, that was in on the tackle, with the first to make a hit. Again, Ben Westrick.
It's going to be 2nd and 4. Very good. Second and 4 from the 5, and Lieberg's going to be stood up there and brought down. And it's going to be third down coming up.
Okay. Again, 3rd and 5, one of the important things to note here is that you can go ahead and pick up the first down without going ahead and converting for the touchdown here. So the assumption, definitely obviously in 4-down territory, but for Pacelli, they really need to stop some kind of a negative play here.
3rd and 5 from the 6. Klott's going to keep it himself. Cut back into the inside. He's going to be stopped, fall forward near a first down. It's going to be 4th down and a half an inch. Coming up for Assumption. Mayak and Eckendorf on the tackle. 4th down and a very short way to go.
Indication at this point from the sideline official is about a foot. Let's call it 11 inches or so from this vantage point.
Klott has done it so often this year. He just keeps it himself, or does he give it to a battering ram? Klott off the right side. First down, reaches for the end zone. It's going to be close. They're going to give him the first down. Nearly got into the end zone on the 2nd and 3rd effort.
Again, it's one of those deals. You got to give the two sideline officials a lot of credit on that. The other night in the Packer game, you looked at that replay 7 times from the different angles, and depending upon whether you're from Illinois or Wisconsin, you did or did not think that was a touchdown. But in this case, I thought the officials did a nice job coming in and get that spot, pick up the first down. Now you're talking about a 1st and goal scenario. We're going to get a measurement.
Yeah. From where it is right now, it sure looks like he got it. But we're up here. Yeah, 3 footballs. That was not even close. First down Assumption inside the 1-yard line.
Well, it's a pretty important play of the game. You got to make sure you get it right. And again, if Coach Nelson's asking for the measurement, it's nice for the crew to go ahead and do such a thing.
Absolutely. Klott under center. 6-0 Assumption 8 minutes ago. Klott right behind center into the end zone. Touchdown Royals. Jack Klott with another touchdown. That is touchdown number 7 rushing for the senior quarterback.
And just like that, Pacelli, or Assumption, goes up 12-0. And now we'll be curious to see if they try to go for the 2-point conversion to go ahead and make up for that missed extra point, which it does look like they're going to do. Untimed down, try for point only.
Klott under center. And going to hand it up to Lieberg. He's going to be stopped. 2-point conversion fail. Another nice job by the Pacelli defense. And with 7:59 to go in this opening half, Assumption 12, And Pacelli, nothing. You're watching high school football on Selesky Sports.
Hi, this is Van Patrick Oates from Rapids Awards and More. People ask, what is the more part of Awards and More? Well, that means that we're more than just an award store. We engrave glass, wood, plastic, guns, Yeti cups, medals, knives, and so much more. We're located on the web at awardsandmore.us. And if you're in the Wisconsin Rapids area, visit our physical store at 1210 Pepper Avenue or check us out on Facebook. Rapids Awards and More than just awards.
When you have a house full of kids, your water consumption is through the roof. But when the kids move out, the water usage goes down. But how long are they really gone for? With high-efficiency systems made by WaterCare, Maher Water Corporation can roll with any size-changing families. So call us today so we can help you with those water use issues. The laundry is still up to you. When you have a house full of kids, your water consumption is through the...
Mason Kubis back to kick. Assumption leads 12-0 back here at beautiful Gerke Field in Stevens Point. The Pointers on the road, I believe they started conference play today, or they start conference play about a minute ago maybe. We'll take a quick look at that. But Mason Kubis to boot it away. He does so, keeping it away from Bierencott. They're going to be taken down there. Nice carry there on the return for Pacelli.
Jamison Mayak on the return there. And again, Joseph Johnson on the tackle for the Royals. So again, nice coverage, nice kickoff. Once again, Pacelli starting with the ball at midfield. An opportunity to go ahead and get a drive. But boy, Steve, it feels to me like if Pacelli's going to get themselves in this thing, try to get a homecoming win, they really need to go ahead and get some points on the board on this drive.
Absolutely right.
Again, it would not surprise me. Even though the last pass was picked off, it would not surprise me to see Van Order put the ball in the air on this drive.
Run up the middle. Going to be stopped there, gobbled up by Walker Livernash. And it's going to be second down and about 5 yards to go.
Really cool sportsmanship between number 76, Kenny Golot, and number 53 for Pacelli, Colin Myers. Again, nice battle that's happening on that line. Two trucks hitting each other from that regards, and afterwards both each other helping each other up in the play, patting the helmet. What high school sports is all about. Well done, gentlemen.
Pointers actually have the week off. They're at River Falls next week. Bierencott off the right side. Breaks a couple tackles. First down for Brock into Assumption territory to the 41.5-yard line.
Tackle by number 44, Joey Moyer on the play. The first time we've called Joey's name today, which is pretty unusual for Assumption. Typically, Joey is one of the more impactful players.
Joey, the leading tackler on the team, 54th tackle of the year, 241 now career tackles for Mr. Moyer. As, again, about 7 minutes to go in this opening half. Andrew Van Order back under center, split backs behind him. And calls it out, hands it up to Bierencott right away. He's going to be stopped there by Livernash and Moyer again. But he gains about three or four on the play, though.
I do like what Pacelli is doing. They're consistently running the ball up the middle, little misdirection, kind of a nice quick hitter. I think they've been able to sustain some drives and control the football. Like I said, if they can put some points on the board, Steve, especially with the two failed point after touchdown conversions, they're right in this game.
And Pacelli starts the second half with the football, so if they're able to score, hold Assumption, get right back into it here. 2nd and 7 to go. And off the left side, Bierencott again. Stats on the tackle.
Setting up a third, and we're going to go ahead and call it a 1. It looks like it's inside of a 1 yard in terms of where it goes. Right where Pacelli wants to be, giving themselves a chance. Once again, worst case scenario, flipping the field, eating some time off the board. But again, points for Pacelli seems to just be an absolute premium. I think they really need to go ahead and see if they can finish this drive.
3rd and less than a yard, as again, might be at this point in this part of the field 4-down territory for the Pacelli Cardinals. I formation behind Andrew Van Order. And going to hand it off to Bierenkopf for the third time. Off the right side, breaks a couple of arm tackles. Stiff arms Manny Schultz to the ground. Ryan Shaw drags him out of bounds. First down, Pacelli. Put Manny Schultz right onto the turf.
Bierenkopf with a great not only read to bounce that play outside, but a terrific stiff arm trying to go ahead and running through. A little bit of combination of power. You can start to see this young Pacelli team starting to build a little confidence, starting to find a little bit of an offensive identity.
First down and 10 from the 20, right at the red zone marker. And Van Order, again, with split backs behind him. And, again, Bierenkopf up the middle. Joey Moyer with the tackle. Misdirection again, had me again. And it's going to be second down and manageable for Pacelli.
Hey, Steve, how long till we get ourselves a red zone sponsor? I feel like that's the next thing that Zaleski Sports needs. I know that Mr. Zaleski and Mr. Dan Ross are working on a little bit of red zone highlight how it's action in terms of where it goes, but it feels like an opportunity to go ahead and sponsor a red zone should be out there.
I think we had one a number of years ago. I might have to call Bill Held and ask him to find somebody for us. Bierenkopf off the right side, big hole, breaks a couple tackles inside the 5.
Tackle or touchdown saving shoestring tackle that time by number 7 Jack Klott. But again, Pacelli has found something up the middle of the field, pounding the football, and again that tempo has kept Assumption, at bay. So you're looking at first and goal from the 3-yard line. Again, Pacelli getting exactly what they needed and hoped for here. Now let's see if they can finish the drive.
All Brock Bierenkopf on this drive for Pacelli, and why not? He has led the team with 601 yards coming in with 7 touchdowns, looking for touchdown number 8, and keep feeding the beast. And he's going to be stonewalled there inside the 2.
Number 36, freshman Walker Livernash got in there and made the first contact, slowed him down. Really a nice play by young Livernash.
Gains a yard on the play. Second down and goal from the 2. 4 minutes to go here in the opening half. Quick moving first half here in Stevens Point.
Steve, that's pretty unusual to see a freshman contribute in high school football in terms of where it goes. But Walker really with a nice play, getting himself in the backfield to disrupt that contact. Well done.
Assumption will take their first timeout. We'll do the same. 3:53 to go in the first half. 12-0 Assumption. Pacelli marching. We'll be back on Zaleski Sports.
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on U.S. Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com.
When the last thing you need to happen does. One of our 16 mobile service trucks from Sherrill Tire and Service Center can keep you rolling and growing. Sherrill Tire and Service Center, your locally owned farm tire specialist.
Sherrill Tire and Service, keep growing and rolling with us.
Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
First time out taken of the first half for either side. Assumption did so. And it's going to be second and goal from the 2-yard line.
Well, Steve, if you pick up a yard each time and you start your drive at the 3 and you go for it on 4th down, it's probably going to work out okay for you. So,
Van Order under center. Hands it up off the left side. He's going to be stopped and lose a yard. And looks like 76 Kenny Golot.
Big 76 Kenny Golot says, okay, you can run it up the middle, but you can't run it at me. So it's one of those scenarios where Kenny got in there and just blew that play up very well, very sharp.
Third and goal from the 3. Loses a yard. With 3.5 to go in this first half.
I wonder if we'll get a little misdirection and perhaps a bounce to the outside on this one, Steve. It seems like, I know Pacelli is wanting to go up the middle, but it seems like in the shorter field, Assumption is really stiffened.
Van Order again, hands it up to Bierenkopf off the left side. He's going to be stopped again! Off the Golot side again, and it's going to be 4th and goal from the 2.5-yard line.
That time, I think the first rail to come up and make the hit was number 3, Ryan Shaw, to go ahead and stuff the hole and says, nope, not up the middle.
4th and goal from the 3. Again, the last play on the third down, Second down was the first negative play of the drive for Stevens Point Pacelli. Then Burencott finally got stopped for no gain. Fourth down and goal from the 3. And Van Order under center. See if Pacelli can get that push they need. 2.5 to go. Van Order hands off to Burencott. He's going to walk into the end zone. Touchdown, Pacelli.
Broke the tackle by number 23, Cade Stats, on the way in, and you can see Cade's upset with himself. Had the hit in the backfield, had him wrapped up, and again, got up too high, and Burencott was able to use that power, drive through the arm tackle, and with 2:25 to go, Pacelli can go ahead and cut this to either a 4 or a 5-point deficit.
And it was all Brock Burencott on that drive, except for the negative play that they had. And now Andrew Van Order coming in to attempt the PAT.
Van Order definitely does everything for the Cardinals. He's the linebacker. He is the quarterback. He is the kicker. I wonder if he actually is in charge of sweeping the field as well afterwards. He just does a little bit of everything.
A straight-on boot. High snap, and it is up, and it is wide left. 2:25 to go in this first half. Assumption will have it with 2 timeouts left. We'll be back to Gerke Field right after this on Zaleski Sports.
At Blanker Construction, the focus is on building something great. Find a personable experience that understands your needs, followed by a customized interior and exterior design. Our project managers, carpenters, and designers on site are hard at work with only one goal in mind: building you the home of your dreams. When you're ready to build your new forever home, look to Blanker Construction, your custom home builder serving all of central Wisconsin. Find your inspiration online at blankerco.com or stop in on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point. Build something great with Blanker Construction. At Blanker Construction, the focus is on building On Point Auto Repair is a veteran-owned and family-run business specializing in exceptional vehicle and customer care. Regardless of what's preventing your vehicle from being at its best, you can trust they'll find and repair the issue, getting you back on the road quickly. Daddy-O's is a member of both Napa's and O'Reilly's auto care programs and offers a 24/7 secure key drop box for easier scheduling and pickup. For on-point repairs each and every time, bring your vehicle to Daddy-O's On Point, conveniently located on Church Street in Stevens Point. Daddy-O's On Point.
2:25 to go in this opening half as Andrew Van Order will kick it away. Assumption leads 12-6, but a very phenomenal drive by the Pacelli Cardinals, all Brock Burencott.
Exactly what Pacelli needed. Now, it's important for Assumption to see if they can answer it because, again, you said Pacelli does get the ball first.
Joey Moyer with a great return. A flag comes in.
That came in late behind the play. I wonder if that's going to be on number 26, Nick Lieberg, for a block in the back, and it's a shame if it is because he really didn't need it.
Joey Moyer, nice return. Joey's usually not one to return it, but did a nice job there. And Assumption will be well behind the sticks after the hold.
Yeah, they're going to call it a hold. I actually think it was more of a block in the back in terms of where it goes. But anyway, you look at it, it's going to be on number 26, Nick Lieberg. And, you know, again, now you're talking 2:20 on some fortunate because Assumption would have had the ball near midfield. They do have 2 timeouts left, but with Pacelli getting the ball first, I'd be interested to see how aggressive Coach Sullivan is. And if you're Coach Nelson and you happen to get a stop on first or second down, do you use your timeouts and try to go ahead and get that extra possession in as well?
Yeah, they got 3 timeouts. Klotz is going to hand it up to Lieberg. Breaks a couple tackles, a couple stiff arms, and stiff arms Andrew Van Order. He's still on his feet. Nick Lieberg truckling down the field. And a huge first down for Nick Lieberg.
Wow, Logan Mendyke was there at the end trying to go ahead and keep him in front, but all he could do was turn and continue to angle Nick to the sideline. Once Nick gets ahead of steam, he's almost impossible to bring down by yourself. Heck of a run, a heck of an effort by Lieberg.
And Cade making up for that penalty that he just had on the kickoff return. So 1st and 10 now here for Assumption. Ball at the 45-yard line. Nick is, again, mentioning earlier, strong as it gets. He's going to take it himself again to the 49 of Pacelli. And it's going to be second down coming up with 2 minutes to go.
Now that Pacelli's got themselves across the midfield mark, now I think you can start to see Coach Sullivan go ahead and get to be more aggressive. We'll see when Assumption wants to go ahead and pick up the pace. They've still got those 2 timeouts.
Klott back under center. Second down from the 49. Klott's going to keep it himself off the right side. Look to pitch. He breaks a couple of tackles. Still going. He gets hit hard in the back by Burencott, but another first down for Assumption, moving the ball down the field, 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Of course, high school football, the clock stops on the first down until the chains get set, and then they're kind of back up and set to kind of rock and roll. Unfortunately here, you can see, I believe that is number 26, Nick Lieberg, that needed to tie his shoe, and he did not get an equipment timeout from the officials. So wasting a few seconds here are the Royals.
80 seconds to go in the first half. Lieberg off the right side. Again, just keep those big legs moving. Gains about 5 on the play. Second down coming up. And Coach Sullivan, again, just relaying the plays. Got to get them in. 1:10 to go.
First Cardinal to get in on the tackle was number 55, Carter Hermine on that. Really a nice-looking junior player. Nice wrap-up tackle there.
1 minute to go in the first half. Assumption doesn't seem like in a whole lot of rush. Klott's going to keep it himself. Pitched it out to Kate Stats. He was looking for the running back pass and going to wind the clock. And it's going to be 3rd down. They ran that against, and I think you were there, against Marathon, and resulted in a touchdown. Pacelli was ready for it. And Assumption will take a timeout with 30, and the clock's still running. They ran about 5 or 6 extra seconds off, and it's going to be 3rd down and 1 yard to go for Assumption.
Yeah, what was interesting about that particular play is at one point when we looked up here at the scoreboard, it went back to 45 seconds. Now it's reset itself to 35 seconds. When we come out of the timeout, let's exactly see where it's at. Is it seems like that clock has kind of managed a little bit. Anyway, you look at it, timeout for Assumption because they didn't pick up the 3rd down, so you're talking 3rd and 1. Where that's important is now Assumption's down to 1 timeout, 35 seconds to go.
Yeah, they're coaches for Pacelli. Thumbs up, 42 seconds. Nicolay Bank, I saw a brand new Nicolay Bank driving into town today. Offers personal banking that works for you with locations in Stevens Point, Wausau, Colby, Medford, Edgar, and Merrill. That's Nicolay Bank, helping us bring you these games live.
I've always found the banking industry to be very interesting. So,
and we don't have it here, but at all the Amherst games, the International Bank of Amherst, my mom's been in banking for 30 years, and it's, yeah. But 3rd and 1 now, 42 seconds left. Klott under center. Late snap, Lieberg off the left side. 1st down and more for Nick. Just try to shut off the blockers. It's a 1st down. At that point, when he's wrapped up around the legs, for Nick, might be better just to go down, get the clock stopped. Nick coming up a little limp with 30 seconds to go.
Again, clock set, high school football, so the clock is back rolling. We're underneath 30 seconds here for
the ball is on the ground, a bad snap, and they might need to take a timeout because he tried to spike it unsuccessfully. And Assumption will take a timeout. They tried to get the snap to spike the ball. The ball never got back. Kraus, it looks like bad snap back to Klott. And Assumption will take their final timeout with 16 seconds left.
You know, again, Steve, for both of these teams, especially for Assumption, as you look at the opportunity to go ahead and try to make that playoff run, this drive is a really important drive. When you don't play a lot of close football games and now you need a 2-minute drive, even though you've got an experienced quarterback like Klott, for the Royals, clock management, did we get the 1st down? When do we call the timeouts? How do we spike that football? All things that you're working on here, that things that you try to practice, but you just can't simulate until you get to an opponent. So it's a very valuable experience. That being stated, for Pacelli, these next 16 seconds are huge to keep this a 1-score game. And if your Assumption, considering the fact that Pacelli gets the ball first, you're going to feel really different about your first half of football if you can punch this thing in, or if you come up short. Kind of feels like a missed opportunity because Assumption's been able to move the football, but they've not been able to go ahead and up to this point punch it in. Even though with the 2 minutes, I feel like they had plenty of time to be able to move the ball down the field. So curious to see at this point. Do you think Coach Sullivan goes ahead and puts it up in the air and trusts that senior quarterback to make a throw, perhaps as Ryan Shaw?
I would think so. With no timeouts left, you don't really want to run because unless you have a guy like Manny Schultz on the jet sweep coming to the near side, but you don't really want to run to let that clock continue to run if you don't get a 1st down or don't get out of bounds. Klott back to pass, looking for his receiver. Shaw into the end zone, turns, it is in and out of his hands. Through the hands of the defender, Shaw went to the ground and almost made the catch.
Number 4, Logan Mienke on the coverage on that. We could see beforehand, I was just about to say, at the snap, that Logan was lined up with Ryan, in terms of where it goes. It would not surprise me again to see Assumption come right back to it, see if Shaw can go ahead and make a play. He almost was able to kind of catch it off of the deflection, which would have been outstanding, but it would not surprise me once again to see Assumption take a shot there as well. Also, you might want to be on the lookout for number 44, Joey Moyer, at tight end. He tends to go ahead and find himself in the middle of the field, but if you get there, you got to make sure that you get down and that you can get that spike in, because Assumption not able to stop the clock anymore with 11 seconds. You got to be able to clock it once that ball's set.
Joey Moyer scored a touchdown last week. Back to pass again, looking for him, looking to the end zone. He's there, touchdown! Joey Moyer from Jack Klott, and the Royals score with 6 seconds to go in the first half.
Exactly what I kind of figured that Coach Sullivan would go ahead and dial up. You had double coverage over on Shaw. He's such a dangerous weapon, and Moyer was able to get himself in the middle of the field, get behind it, and then Klott with a beautiful throw, dropping it right into his basket, and now you're having the opportunity to go ahead and punch this in and go up 14 points. Huge swing of momentum in this game.
Klott to Lieberg, and 2-point conversion is successful. 6 seconds to go in the opening half. It is 20-6 Assumption. We'll keep it here as we again take a look at that beautiful pass from Jack Klott to Joey Moyer. Joey is I don't want to say surprisingly athletic for his height and what he comes in at. Joey is one of the more athletic players on this Assumption football team. You saw right there on the touchdown, coming in as a tight end this year, other than a bruiser as a running back as he has been.
Having the opportunity to either call or watch several of the Assumption games this year, I'm surprised at how often Joey and as well as Nick Lieberg, when they play tight end, are able to go ahead and get themselves open. Obviously, last year, Sullivan filled that role and did a nice job, but in Coach Sullivan's offense, that tight end is so important as a safety valve, and in both cases, just really nice play calling by Coach Sullivan. And it's interesting, Steve, because you think of Assumption as a run-the-football team, but Jack in that drive proves that if they get in a spot where they got to be able to throw the football, this team has got some weapons and they can hurt you through the air as well. So really a monster momentum shift. Now with 6 seconds, you're going to probably end up with a pooch kick, and if you're Pacelli, I'm curious to see if they take a chance to let Van Order throw it, or if they go in down 14 and they regroup. It'll be an interesting finish to this half, but Pacelli does get the football first. I think that'll factor into where we'll probably get a knee, and then let's come out in the second half, boys, and see what it looks like.
That's a whole new dynamic. You just mentioned it for Assumption offensively, putting together these passing drives that they have been able to do here in the last couple of weeks. And Mendyke's going to go down, and that should end our first half, and it does. A very successful first half for the Assumption offense. 24 minutes in the books. It is halftime here at Gerke Field. No, they're going to put 1 second left. They're going to put another second on the clock. Assumption ready to go to the locker room, and they will not do so quite yet. And all the coaches telling Ryan Shaw, Mason Kubis, all those guys to get back. Jack Klott there as well. Pacelli will have one last heave or one last kneel down, and we'll go into halftime. It is homecoming here at Pacelli, and we might show some of that homecoming court being announced and the festivities that come with homecoming here at Pacelli. It looks like they're just going to bottle up Andrew Van Order to let him kneel it down, and that's exactly what will happen. We'll take a break here from quite a few of our sponsors. Get you ready for second half football action. It is the Assumption Royals 20, Pacelli Cardinals 6 here on Zaleski Sports.
Rich, creamy, and fun. Point Craft Soda. Caffeine free, made with 100% real sugar. From Stevens Point Brewery.
Grassland Dairy Products is your match for an exciting new career today. Go to grassland.com to see the opportunities waiting for you. Browse through careers like CDL truck driver, shipping and receiving, line tech, quality assurance, forklift, maintenance tech, inventory associates, and more. Great compensation, weekly pay, and zero premium company paid health, dental, and life. Apply now at grassland.com or in person at Grassland Dairy Products, Fairground Avenue, just south of Greenwood.
Hi, come check out Velocity Clubhouse.
Velocity Clubhouse is open to the public, and we have a large facility for any of your sporting needs. Whether it's hitting, pitching, volleyball, or practice on the same court as the Housers, try our baseball simulator. Work one-on-one with experienced coaches. Schedule your next birthday party or gathering with Velocity Clubhouse of Stevens Point. 715-254-0505.
Hi, come check out
Our Store Innovations customers told us they love our countertops, but only wanted to deal with one company for their entire kitchen project. Well, we've heard you. So now Store Innovations can give you a brand new kitchen with the same high quality products, selection, expertise we've been giving you for years. And now we can give you that brand new kitchen in just 1 week. After sitting down with our designers, picking out cabinets, countertops, and flooring, it will only take us 1 week to install everything. Stone Innovations, new kitchens in just 1 week. For years, our Stone Innovations customers told us.
Farms is a large potato and vegetable operation. Who Heartland Farms is a group of hardworking, dedicated people who have a common vision.
Heartland Farms is an accumulation of individuals who came from family farm backgrounds, grew up on family farms, and now have come together as one larger team to own and manage a much larger farm enterprise.
Welcome back to Gerke Field here in Stevens Point as the Assumption Royals lead 20-6 at halftime. We got a couple of stats for you on the appreciate Greg Jeez Louise. Greg Grundhofer. Jeez Louise.
And also credit to Coach Jimmy Schmidt over there, who does a great job. Both of them do a great job keeping the stats for Assumption involved in the program in a lot of different ways. But again, what do we have for a few stats there, Steve, to be able to share in this from the first half?
Yeah, so Brock Bierenkopf for the Pacelli Cardinals, 16 carries, 84 yards, a majority of them coming on that scoring drive, and a touchdown. Kate Stats, 6 carries, 25 yards. Jack Klotz, 9 for 33 rushes. Manny Scholes, 5 carries, 46 yards. The big number. Last week, Jack is a little bit off of his pace from last week. He was 3 for 3 last week with 60 yards. 2 for 3 tonight with 34 yards and a touchdown. Livernash, first name, Walker Livernash with 3 tackles. Joey Moyer with 4 tackles. The big number right now, Nick Lieberg, 10 carries, 57 yards, has got over that 2,500-yard mark in his career at Wisconsin Rapids Assumption. So congratulations to Nick and the Assumption Royals.
Very entertaining first half of football, fueled by a couple of big plays. The interception by Jack Klott was a significant interception on a ball where Van Order got hit and pressured in the backfield. But again, that kind of set up the first scoring drive, which I thought was a pretty significant play there. You know, again, if you're Pacelli, you really did a nice job. You controlled the clock. You had yourself where it was a one-score game at 12-6 with 2 minutes to go. Unfortunately for Pacelli, unfortunately for Assumption, which I think is the mark of a pretty impressive Royals team, they were able to take that 2-minute conversion, knowing Pacelli was going to grab the ball, and they were going to be able to turn that into a touchdown on a really beautiful play where Klott went ahead and hit Joey Moyer in the end zone on a touchdown after really Pacelli had a nice pass breakup to take a look at it as well.
There's an injured Cardinal making his way without his top on, and maybe we go through a process of elimination here for the Pacelli Cardinals. We'll have to.
I would venture to guess, if I were to take a shot at it, that might be number 54, Steve. No, not 54. Excuse me. It's a pretty good size young man, but I see that number 54, Mitchell Grover, is out there still.
Thank you. Peyton Fleece, the injured Pacelli Cardinals.
That's number 30 for Pacelli, Peyton Fleece.
Appreciate our help here in the press box as a Pacelli Cardinals with a great kickoff return to start the second half. And down he goes, taken down by Mason Kubis.
Logan Mendyke made a great juke move and then cut it back to the middle. Showed some explosive speed. It was only number 22, Mason Kubis, who came all the way across the field in order to make a touchdown-saving tackle. But again, for Pacelli, exactly the start that they were looking for. So they're going to start this drive from the Assumption 35 with an opportunity to perhaps take some of that momentum back. So you lost it coming into the half. You were wondering, were they going to hang their head or was it going to be homecoming and rally? What a terrific start for Pacelli.
Yeah, they could have just put the ball right back down where it was kicked off. Brock Bierenkopf off the right side. Joey Moyer with a big tackle there for the Royals and gains half a yard on the play. Second down coming up. Go ahead. Thank you to our game day sponsors: Premium Auto, Pizza Ranch of Plover, Ag Country FS, Lee Ayers Jewelers, Point Insurance, Blinds and Designs by Kelly, Point Brewery, and Arbuckles.
And Steve, I was just actually going to say, for everybody watching this game today, please make sure we support our sponsors. It allows us to go ahead and bring you football for free here on Zaleski Sports.
Bierenkopf off the left side, going to be taken down again by Moyer. I'll give a plug right now to Lee Ayers Jewelers in downtown Stevens Point. More so, one of their ring designers, Tom Daly, designed my wife's wedding ring. Wife's engagement ring, just absolutely one of the best, if not the best in the state, ring design artists is Tom Daly at Lee Ayers Jewelers in downtown Stevens Point. Absolutely phenomenal. Third down coming up after my plug. Brock Bierenkopf off the right side, bounces back, bounces in, and it's going to be fourth down and about a yard to go for Stevens Point.
Really a nice little play. That was Ryan Shaw that came up and made the stop there, but also number 50 for Assumption, Gunnar Kraus, came up and was the first to slow him down, because I thought that was going to be an easy first down for Bierenkat, but Kraus went ahead and stood him up, and Shaw made sure that he did not pick it up. So a monster 4th and 1 here for Pacelli. You got to figure that it's Bierenkat that's going to go ahead and grab the ball. Let's see if big number 76, Kenny Golak, can go ahead and get in the backfield and cause some disruption.
I formation again. Van Order under center. Quick snap and hands it up right away. He's going to be stopped there. Cage Stats, the ball's on the ground. It's going to be a turnover on down. Stats initially there, and Assumption will take over 1st and 10.
So that's a really interesting play, Steve, because I think if he can hang on to the football and his forward progress is stopped, he's probably going to have the first down. But when the fumble came and he ended up going ahead and the ball comes backwards, so what a huge, again, momentum swing and a great stop by the Royals. Now let's see if they can come down the field, punch this ball in the end zone, and go ahead and perhaps create enough separation and salt this thing away.
Yeah, that time they gave it to Bennett Eckendorf on the quick handoff instead of Brock Bierenkat. Nick Lieberg off the left side. A stiff arm puts the defender into the turf. Bierenkat with the tackle, and another nice carry by Nick Lieberg.
Number 2, Brock Bierenkat with the tackle on that play. But, again, you can start to see the size and the power for Assumption start to go ahead and wear down this Pacelli Cardinal team.
We'll take a look back at that 4th down conversion here. As, again, just a wonderful job by the Assumption defense. And up the middle again, Lieberg carries for a first down.
You know, with this replay technology, Steve, that football league that plays on Sundays has got nothing on Zaleski Sports here. I'm really liking it.
Yeah, well, just a wonderful job by the Assumption defensive line. You mentioned Kenny Golot in there as well. And just a great job, Kate Stats and company for the Assumption Royals.
One rumor that's going around Assumption is that he gobbles up defenders as well as the spaghetti on the spaghetti feed. So Manny Schultz with the run here on first down. Tackle made by number 1, Ethan Cowart. I believe that's the first time that we've called Ethan's name today.
First or second, and that was a nice job by Manny hanging out of the ball. Ethan came from behind trying to punch it out and get the ball back to Pacelli. Nicely done by Manny Schultz.
Again, Assumption, we talked about it at the half that Lieberg was averaging almost 6 yards a carry. Assumption, again, 7 yards on first down, making second very short and manageable. It's huge for the Royals.
Lieberg, that time, running into Kraus and gained 2 yards on the play. Roberts Physical Therapy now offers the Pineries Running Lab, your one-stop running center focusing on working with runners to prevent injuries and enhance your performance. We saw Roberts' PT commercial. He'll come out to your practice facility. He'll come out to your field, your court, wherever you need him to come. He'll come out and work with you, not just in the office. He'll come out to your sporting area. Pitching out to Kate Stats along the far side. Got a big block by Manny Schultz. Stiff arms, Bierenkat, first down and more for Stats. Stiff arms, Van Order, tiptoes the sideline. First down, Assumption.
Went ahead and just continued to break tackle after tackle on that. Finally pushed out of bounds by number 17, Bennett Eckendorf on that. That's a nice play by the senior, but not before Stats could pick up a first down. And now Assumption knocking on the door of really being able to go ahead and causing Pacelli to come out of their game plan here. So after the big kick return, the turnover down, and now Assumption just being able to go ahead and methodically once again march this ball down the field.
Clot under center. Triple backs behind him again. Lieberg off the left side, breaking arm tackles. That time going to be taken down at about the 25-yard line. Another nice carry by Nick Lieberg. The one thing, obviously, we've watched Nick play football the last couple of years, and with his body type, even in basketball, not afraid of anything, not afraid of contact, not afraid of anything. And if you get your body like that, as thick and as strong and fast as Nick is, you can do things like that.
Pizza Ranch gets a little bit nervous when Nick Lieberg and Kenny Golak come in there, but besides that, they're all good to go.
Manny Schultz with a huge stiff arm inside the 10-yard line, 5-yard line, inside, first and goal. Manny Schultz breaking a couple of tackles. Very patient running by Manny, first and goal at the 5-yard line.
Stiffed arm number 4, Logan Mendyke on that play, and then finally knocked out of bounds by number 7, Asher Jordan on it for for the Cardinals that weren't going to have it. But again, Manny just really wearing you down. And again, with Assumption, there's so many running backs, Steve. Like Stats comes at you, Moyer comes at you. Obviously we talk about Nick Lieberg. It's just really tough when they can stay that fresh.
And a whistle comes in, and we'll see. Came from the near official, and it might be a Manny Schultz with a helmet malfunction, and Mason Kubis coming into the game.
So in high school football, of course, if you have an equipment issue or if your helmet comes off during the play, by anything but your own accord, you have to go out and sit for a play. So which is why you get the substitution in.
I think Manny was just struggling to snap his chin strap back on. Finally got it back on here. First and goal from the 5 for Assumption. Nick Lieberg off the left side. Stiff arm, Van Order. Touchdown, Nick Lieberg from 5 yards out. The stiff arm drive for the Assumption Royals, and it is 26-6 Assumption.
There may be 26, perhaps 27 missed tackles on that drive alone. Assumption just so big and powerful. Pacelli did a really nice job of flowing to the football, but to Assumption's credit, those running backs were able to stiff arm and just break tackles. That drive was so impressive just by yards after contact. Well done by the Royals.
Yeah, you mentioned all the missed tackles, all the just strength of the Assumption Royals with those off arms to push the Cardinals defenders out of the way. And a low snap, and it is up, and it is good. Mason Kubis, PAT good. 7 minutes to go in this third quarter. Assumption has stretched it out 27-6. Back to Gerke Field after this.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970 and 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture.
West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
At Nicolay Bank, we believe that our hometown communities are the backbone of what makes Wisconsin special. From Crivets to Manitowoc and Algoma to Grand Chute, you see a thriving community with Nicolay Bank working as a partner, acting not as a corporation, but a community. When we serve together with local entrepreneurs and leaders, great things happen. That is our guiding principle. A strong and successful hometown means a strong and successful Wisconsin. We are proud to be a part of that. Nicolay Bank. Real people, real conversations. At Nicolay Bank, we believe.
Welcome back to Stevens Point as we 7 minutes to go in this third quarter. Assumption leading 27-6. Again, you mentioned on that drive the broken tackles, the missed tackles, all set up. Again, a huge fourth down stop by Assumption after Mendyke had that huge kickoff return. And then the Assumption defense really holding tight on that opening drive of the second half.
You know, you talk about the fourth down stops and then being able to turn a turnover on downs into points. You talk about that 2-minute drive. Those are the marks of a really good, solid football team as number 17, Bennett Eckendorf, fields the punt, but unfortunately is unable to advance it forward.
Yeah, 74 on the tackle for Assumption. Thomas Honham, he's been all over the place on special teams, has Thomas for Assumption. Perfect. First and 10, Pacelli down by 21 here in the third quarter.
Well, if you're Pacelli, so again, still plenty of time in this ball game. 6 minutes, almost 7 minutes left to go here in the third quarter, plus the fourth. But now you're at a point where you need points, and I would not be surprised once again to go back to where I said before to see Pacelli put this ball in the air and test that secondary of the Royals.
Bennett Eckendorf on the carry, bounces out, bounces in. He's going to gain about 6 or 7. Again, they spread him out. Had 4 receivers, 2 to the near side, 2 to the far side, and just let Bennett Eckendorf carry the ball.
Cade Stats with the tackle for the Royals. Joey Moyer come in on the cleanup. The opportunity for Joey to get a hit is something that he definitely looks for. It's one of those deals where it seems like every time you look around, Joey is always flying to the football.
And that's one thing that I'm sure that Josh Poltz just loses sleep over during basketball. Joey gets into a basketball game, he could follow out in 2 minutes. I mean, he's just that kind of kid. Bierenkot off the left side for a first down to the 45-yard line.
But, again, athletically, it's one of those deals. A lot of the Royals are multiple sports athletes, as you'd expect in a smaller school like that. But you're starting to see some of these younger players mature and grow in their bodies. I don't think you've seen that the last couple of years, but you can tell they've put in a lot of work at the weight room, that they've really gone ahead and matured a little bit, with most of them having 2-3 years on the field.
Yep.
And it's starting to translate into all the different sports. We expect the Royals to have a much better basketball season than what they've had the last couple of years. And again, obviously a special football season that they're going now.
Yeah, we'll talk about how things have turned in the fourth quarter for Assumption. Bierencott off the right side gets stood up, breaks a couple of tackles. Brock had 86 yards in that first half on 16 carries, closing in on 100 again here tonight. Last week at Rosholt, what do we got here? Brock had 25 carries for 238 yards and 5 touchdowns against the Hornets. Assumption will see Rosholt to end the year on Thursday, October 13th.
Steve, I had a chance to see Pacelli the first week of the year. They played WIAA. WIAA is a big team, obviously having a nice year. But I feel like Pacelli's really improved. They're definitely a playoff team, in my opinion. We're week 6, so I think we can start to talk about that.
Bierencott on the toss as Bennett Eckendorf just throws his hands up in frustration on looking for the ball.
Looking at the Pacelli Cardinals schedule, when you take a looking down the line from there, they end at Iola, they end at Loyal. They're going to probably need both of those to go ahead and get in the playoffs. But just looking at this Cardinal team, I definitely feel like those are 2 games that they have a very good chance of getting. That's going to put them into the playoffs. And you can see each week they're progressively getting better. The game plan today, I think, for Coach Nelson has been pretty impressive. But flipping that script, for when you think about the Royals, Steve, how far do you think this team can go?
It really depends. As Bennett Eckendorf gets it tossed to him, he's going to be gobbled up there. Late flag comes in. It really depends on who they get matched up with, who is going to be in their spot. Obviously, in the Division 7, where Wisconsin Rapids is located, I would assume at some point that they would have to match up with an Edgar, level 3 that might be. So it'll all depend on once the seeds come out. Well, they say maybe that Saturday or Sunday after Week 9 is over. Assumption's going to have a long time to wait because they play on Thursday afternoon. Then it's just a waiting game for Assumption on where they're going to and who they're going to have to play in level 1 at least.
Holding penalty against the Cardinals on that play, so we're going to set up 3rd down and 17 yards to go. 4 minutes here in the third quarter with the Assumption Royals leading 27-6 over the Pacelli Cardinals.
Andrew Van Order under center, and the pressure is on immediately. Nowhere to throw it. Intercepted by Kenny Golat. Golat to the end zone. Touchdown, Assumption!
And that play is set up by the pressure by number 79, Brad Jorgensen. So Kenny Golat with hands like a feather and going ahead and showing that blazing speed as he rumbles his way in the end zone for the touchdown, which is pretty cool. And unfortunately, you're going to end up with a celebration penalty. But you know what? When Kenny Golat scores a touchdown for the Assumption Royals, you get that 15-yard penalty and you appreciate it, as now the Royals have gone ahead and stretched this lead out to 33-6 on just a great pressure in the backfield by Brad Jorgensen and a huge interception and pickoff 6 by Kenny Golat.
Kenny's on the kneeling down trying to catch his breath. We'll take a look at it again. And again, the pressure by Jorgensen. Golat there with the softest hands and rumbles into the end zone. And Kenny Golat into the end zone for the touchdown. It is that unsportsmanlike on the celebration, but when you have a senior like Kenny Golat, that has put in 4 years of nonstop hard work, and hugs continue all around for the big fella, and it's 33-6 Assumption.
The only time I've seen Kenny run that fast is that we had some pizza left over after girls basketball practice one day, and he came sprinting down the hallway to make sure that he was grabbing that extra slice. So, really impressive. Again, for those watching at home, the Royals didn't really do anything that was over the top. But in high school football, you're not allowed to huddle. You're not allowed to do any kind of any type of celebration. When you do, you get a 15-yard penalty for excessive celebration, and that'll be assessed on the kickoff as an FYI.
The PAT is up, and it is good. 3:50 to go. Third quarter, Assumption leads 34-6. Smiles, hugs all around. We'll be back to Gerke Field right after this on Zaleski Sports.
Heartland Custom Homes is your local custom home builder for over 50 years right here in Plover. We are committed to making the process of constructing your dream home as engaging, efficient, and stress-free as possible. Our panelized construction is ideal for our central Wisconsin climate, and our expertise and workmanship give you the confidence to know that your home is in good hands. Stop in or schedule a meeting to talk about your vision and watch as your design takes shape before your eyes. You deserve the home of your dreams. Let Heartland Custom Homes bring yours to life. Heartland Custom.
At Express Employment Professionals, we place people from all walks of life in all kinds of jobs.
Hi, welcome to Express. Please sign in and have a seat.
Great, thanks. Great, thanks. Great, thanks. Great, thanks.
Times 15.
Assumption leading 34-6 back to Gerke Field here in Stevens Point. 25, right?
Yeah, so the 15-yard penalty, 40 minus 40 minus 15.
Yeah, they got 2 marks on here for the college, and that kind of threw me off a little bit. The college kicks from the 35, high school from the 40. We mentioned right before we came back on, Kenny Golod just living in the moment, loving it up.
Well, I'll tell you, the Assumption faithful, when they got over there, the student section, the parents, everybody gave him the old appreciation for the effort and was happy for Kenny. You know, again, a lot of battles in the trenches. That's not somebody that goes and takes a look at it. So, sometimes 15 yards is worth it, Steve. That I think for the team and the crowd to celebrate, they were definitely feeling it was worth it.
Mason Kubis let that one rip back to the 28-yard line. And going to be taken down on the return. Ben Westrick, Pacelli back to about the 47-yard line, but they had better field position when Assumption kicked it off from the 40-yard line.
So back to just to finish that conversation that we were having before about how far can this Royals team go. Steve, they feel different to me. That this team feels like they've got big athletic kids. Right now, thank goodness they're healthy. We obviously injury plays a factor in terms of where that goes. But you can definitely see this team set up to be a level 3, a level 4. I think the matchup with Edgar would be fascinating, to be honest with you. Kind of looking ahead. Certainly, you might end up with a Hurley. Perhaps I know a Coleman who knocked out Pacelli last year might be an opportunity.
I think they may have gone up to 6.
So in terms of where it goes, but I mean, again, this Royal team has earned its way into a top 10 ranking for D7, and it's well earned. It's not a fluke. Pepin Alma, who they lost to, is currently ranked 6th, and again, I think that's a game where if this team plays today, I think that's a very different game. I'm not sure, being on the sidelines for a line judge in that game, that Assumption played very well. I feel like they've really grown and started to come together as a team since then.
Well, and the big things that in that game against Pittsville. The week after, they almost gave it away as well. A fumble in that third quarter against Pepin Alma really did them in. And after the game, Coach Sullivan, I was down by the huddle. He praised his guys from top to bottom. One of the better games that he's ever coached against Pepin Alma. He said it right after the game. If we meet them again, that's going to be a game that we can win, and rightfully so. And that was a game, a hot night, and nothing against Mason Kubis because he has been playing phenomenal, but that was a game where Nick Lieberg had to go to the sideline because of cramping. They brought Mason in, and he fumbled the ball. And so and it brought down there by Moyer and Kubis on the tackle. But, again, things have turned. The weather is obviously turned more in favor of an Assumption offensive attack.
2 things. First of all, compliments to Brock Bierencott. He's played a heck of a football game today. Again, on another nice, important first down run. And second of all, as the weather turns colder, and as you potentially are going to deal with some elements, I hate to use the S word, but as we start thinking about snow and sleet and some of the other things that are coming, fall football, November football, October football is going to favor this Royals team with all of those different running backs and the power that they have. It's going to be tough. When that weather gets cold, to try to think about hitting Nick Lieberg or Kate Stats or Manny on a consistent basis in that colder weather is a huge advantage for the Royals, especially if you throw a little precipitation into that mix as well.
Yeah, we talk about it in August. We talk about it in November when football continues. Really the only sport where especially for even officials or broadcasters. You start the season in shorts, you end in winter coats and in winter boots. So
unless you're Charlie Nelson, at which point you just wear shorts and a Royal sweatshirt all year long. But that's neither here nor there. So
a couple broken tackles there by Bierenkot, third down coming up. Or that I don't know what his name is, but takes pictures for the WIAA. Always wears shorts and flip flops, no matter what the weather is. It could be like Kimberly played in a state championship game a couple of years ago, and there was like 8 inches of snow. I'm sure he was down there in shorts and flip flops as well. So
one of the interesting things, Steve, in this game is. It's Pacelli's homecoming, and I think Pacelli has played a really good football game. I mean, you've got the 2 interceptions, which the turnovers have definitely been huge momentum plays in this game, and you had that 4th and 1 stop, which I feel like at the beginning of the quarter could have gone from there. Pacelli, it's 34-6, and you feel like Assumption's really been in control of this thing. But Pacelli has played them very tough. Like, this is one of those games where I'm sure Coach Nelson doesn't want any form of moral victories, but I think this is something you can build on where you can kind of say, we played a really good team, and we were 3 or 4 plays away from being in this thing. That being stated, as we come down to the end of the third quarter, Assumption has, built a pretty impressive 34-6 lead and dominated the third quarter, to which point this game was 14-6, and Assumption just came out and really established themselves as the dominant team in this game that quarter.
We have played 36 minutes here at Gerke Field in Stevens Point. The Assumption Royals 12 minutes away from 1, punching a ticket to the playoffs, and 2, clinching their first conference title in school history. We'll be back to Gerke Field after this on Zaleski Sports.
When buying or selling land, the biggest decision you make is choosing your representation. Whitetail Properties is the top real estate company for selling hunting land, recreational properties, and farms. Our nationwide network of sportsmen, farmers, and investors offers a great opportunity for you to capitalize on the true market value of your property. In central Wisconsin, Brian Roosh is your local land specialist and is ready to help you get started on all of your property needs.
Fourth down coming up for Pacelli, trailing 34-6 here in Stevens Point as Andrew Van Order under center. Again, Assumption closing in on that ticket to the playoffs. Either way, it's going to be on the offense on a false start.
Yep, number 54, I believe Mitchell Grover went ahead and got a little bit anxious on the snap count there.
Yeah, trying to get a head start on his pulling from the left tackle spot. Phelps Dairy is located at the Crossroad Commons in Stevens Point. Phelps Dairy is a family-friendly experience serving your favorite cheeses, ice cream, meat, and more. All grown right here in central Wisconsin. Phelps Dairy is open Monday through Saturday and 24/7 on Facebook. They're still open for about 20 minutes for their fall festival. They have pumpkins. They've got all sorts of things. Phelps Dairy has become a phenomenal place. Van Order back to pass, pressure's on, steps up, and he's going to try and take it himself. Breaks a couple of tackles, and he's not going to make it. Brought down by Mason Kubis, and a turnover on down back to the Assumption Royals.
I hope everybody takes their iPhones, keeps this ball game on, and moves on over to Phelps Dairy to go ahead and support that sponsor.
Yeah, Phelps Dairy is a great spot. A couple of Pacelli alumnus over at Phelps Dairy running Phelps Dairy. It is they sell King Cone ice cream there all year long inside the store. So squeaky cheese curds, a place to go. Family, as mentioned, family friendly experience over at Phelps Dairy. as our white hat was talking to Kenny Golot. Don't know if he was not exactly sure, but maybe saying, finally caught your breath, big fella.
Perhaps asking for an autograph. Again, Kenny's going to blow up on social media. It's one of those deals where everybody loves a defensive tackle touchdown.
As Kate Stats, as the flag comes in.
I think that's going to be a hold on number 50. Gunnar Kraus is what my guess on that is going to be there from that particular flag. Cade's looking for someone to give the football to. All the Cardinals are kind of walking away from him. They don't want anything to do with hitting him again. Cade's like, I've got the ball, somebody.
Yeah, and the officials went in to talk to each other. And so Maher Water, we had Maher Water stop by the house this last week. Maher Water Corporation is a family-run business that has been treating a chop block on Assumption. That has been treating water for 72 years. They offer services. They offer servicing your current water system, new systems for rent or for purchase, and so much more, leaving you and your family left with clean water. Learn more at maherwater.com.
Yeah, so that was an interesting play with Cade busting through the middle there. What ends up happening with it is that Gunnar ended up getting pushed down low, and then somebody caught the defender high, and because you got the high-low, you end up with that chop block situation, in terms of where it goes. So player safety, a big point of emphasis for the WIAA, obviously, this year.
Run up the middle for Lieberg. He gets popped, gets it back up to the 25-yard line. Stevens Point Orthopedics, probably providing the Central Wisconsin community with orthopedic, sports medicine, and physical therapy services. Stevens Point Orthopedics, world-class treatment, hometown care. And we will take a break as an injured Cardinal is on the field. We'll be back to Gerke Field right after this on Zaleski Sports.
As an athlete, there's one constant that remains the most important aspect of your game: injury prevention. Roberts Physical Therapy now offers the Pineries Running Lab, your one-stop running center focusing on working with runners to prevent injuries and enhance your performance. From running exclusive sports like cross-country and track and field to running inclusive sports like football, basketball, baseball, and soccer, let Roberts Physical Therapy's Pineries Running Lab meet you at the track, your home, or the field and help you prevent injury and keep on running. Call Roberts Physical Therapy with locations in Amherst, Plainfield, and Wisconsin Rapids. As an athlete, there's one constant.
First things first with Mid-State Technical College. Dual credit programs earn you college credit in high school. Then choose a path that suits you. Use your skills to start your career or transfer to a university to continue your degree. Choose a new career. Transition easily and quickly by upgrading your skills. Or continue your education with dozens of classes to get you on your path. No matter your stage of the game, your first move is Mid-State Technical College.
To me, the perfect run is when things start to get tough and I'm trying to keep my pace going and I hit this moment where I just quit thinking about what I'm doing. I've heard surgeons mention that as well, that during their best surgeries, you're kind of in just a pure flow. My goal with patients is to try to help them get back to doing what they want to be doing. To me, the perfect run
Customize your next apparel order with Maida Custom Apparel of Stevens Point. Visit us today for custom baseball and softball apparel. Need help with a design? We have you covered. Our highly skilled staff will turn your idea into a reality with great quality screen printing. Or choose from a variety of embroidery options today. Visit us at our physical store or online at maidacustom.com.
Welcome back to Gerke Field here in Stevens Point. Andrew Van Order got hit pretty hard by Nick Lieberg and being helped off the field by Coach Drew Nelson and the athletic trainer. But prayers up for Andrew Van Order, hoping to have him back for their game against Kingdom Lutheran Prep next Saturday at 12 p.m. Jack Weber and Brendan Retzloff right back here next Saturday for some football for Pacelli.
Not that you ever really want any form of injury, but the good news is it appears to be more of an ankle than perhaps a knee, which is definitely good news for Van Order there.
Hand up the middle. Nick Lieberg breaking a couple of tackles. Bierenkopf brings him down. He was kind of leading Kate Stats into that hole, and a late flag comes in. And this is one emphasis that Coach Sullivan has preached the last handful of years, that turnovers and penalties have really been killers for Assumption the last number of years.
You know, Steve, we were talking about the fact that you can start to see the size of the Assumption Royals and the power of these running backs really take a toll. You know, when you are a team like Pacelli that you play both ways and you're on the field the whole ball game, to have to continue to tackle those trucks that come at you, I would think would really be something that would wear you down.
What is this? What's this here? When he does that?
I believe that he was practicing his backstroke.
Second down long.
I kind of missed the signal. I'm not sure if maybe he said he was assisting the runner.
Oh.
That would be what my guess would be in terms of where that is from where the flag was thrown.
That may have been what Cade was doing. And it almost got called for it again as Nick Lieber gets taken down by Asher Jordan.
Steve, I'm pretty old, so when I do that, I'm trying to stretch out my back just because it hurts in terms of where it goes at this age. But, yes, I believe that's what he called as assisting the runner.
Express Employment Professionals has the relationships with all the local businesses and job openings. Call or stop in at Express Employment to find the right career path for you. Or email Jason at ZaleskiSports.com. We'll find work for you. Jack Klatt rolling out to his right, looking for his receiver, Ryan Shaw, along the far sideline, makes the catch, taken down at the 50-yard line. First down, Assumption.
Jack Klatt has not been asked to put the ball in the air a lot today, but when he has been spot on with the throws. That is a beautiful pitch and catch between Klatt and Shaw, and I feel like Assumption could do that more if they wanted to. The thing with it is they've got such talented running backs and they want to control the offense, but when they do want to put it up, it's pretty impressive to watch those two go to work.
1st and 10 at midfield. Shaw lines up to the near side. Going to hand it up to Lieberg. Fall to the 45-yard line. Bone and Joint has been keeping lives in motion for over 50 years. Call or visit bonejoint.net to schedule an appointment today. 2nd and 6 coming up as Brad Jorgensen was already ready to get down in his three-point stance on the line and had to.
Brad's another one that just wants to go ahead and get up there and hit somebody. He's like, let's go, Coach. I'm ready to go again.
Yeah, that was, again, that third down conversion, 3rd and long, and tucked it down for that first down from Klatt to Ryan Shaw. 2nd down here. And a face mask comes in as easy as it gets. A nice toss by our official on the near side here.
Well, I think he saw Klatt drop that ball in the Shaw, and he's like, hey, I can get in on this. It's pretty nice. You know, again, I know I'm biased, but again, I really hope that our viewers at home are appreciating the opportunity with the replay. I think that's such a huge enhancement, and I think it's just so important, Steve, to really make sure that we are thanking our sponsors and encouraging our audience to please make sure that we're visiting our sponsors, just simply based upon the fact that it's those sponsors and that money that allows us to be able to bring you high school football for free. And compliments to Jason Zaleski and really all of Zaleski Sports for continuing to invest in the broadcast and talent to be able to bring things like replay available to you in high school sports.
Yeah, our Wheelers Chevrolet, our replay sponsor. So give a big shout out to Wheelers. That's the only place in town in Wisconsin Rapids that I take my car to get oil changed and looked at. Assumption just bleeding the clock here. Klatt not even under center right now. And after the snap, then we'll hear from our friends over at Spectrum Benefit Solutions, which is our scoreboard sponsor for the day. Again, no rush for Assumption. Klatt under center, leading 34-6. Hands up to Lieberg again off the right side. Spectrum Benefit Solutions has offices located throughout central Wisconsin. Spectrum Benefit Solutions is your group benefits provider for health, dental, accident, and life insurance. Spectrum Benefit Solutions works with hundreds of clients of all sizes to help you attract and retain the best employees. Find Spectrum Benefit Solutions on Facebook to get started today.
Couple interesting updates for you Packer fans out there tomorrow. the Packers have placed Sammy Watkins on injured reserve, so we're going to lose him for at least, what does that mean, 6 weeks, I believe.
Yep.
And on the flip side of it, the Buccaneers have elevated wide receiver Cole Beasley to the active roster, so they signed him on Tuesday. So, again, I hope you have your program ready because it might be interesting to figure out who the running backs are as Big Nick Liegberg goes ahead and breaks a couple tackles and rumbles down the field for another Royal first down.
Yeah, more stiff arms, more hard running for Nick Liegberg. 1st and 10 with 8:07 to go. Turn your house into a home and shop home furniture. Find many top brands of beds, sectionals, recliners, sofas, and so much more, all at a family-owned discount furniture store. Shop home furniture on Grand Avenue in Wisconsin Rapids and Post Road here in Plover.
I just had some terrific customer service from Home Furniture as we picked up a sectional for the new house in terms of where it goes. I thought they had a great selection of Ashley and other products in terms of where it goes at a fair price, but they did a nice job of getting that set up. Appreciate Home Furniture sponsoring the ball game and for the sectional.
Liegberg again to the 5. He gets taken down as Bierenkopf picks up another tackle. Clock runs 7.5 to go. I know, and I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure my mother-in-law is building a new house or has built a new house. I'm thinking she went to Stone Innovations. She got her countertop, island, or stone wall from Stone Innovations. That's where you should go. They specialize in the fabrication, design, and installation of such a great variety of stone products. For residential, commercial, or public structures, look to Stone Innovation at stoneinnovation.net.
I can also confirm that Sarah and I actually just used Stone Innovations not only to pick up the granite countertops for the new house, but they also do backsplash now for folks that are looking for some interesting design and some interesting work there as well. So Stone does a great job.
Stats off the left side, pushes Manny Schultz as Stats into the end zone for the touchdown. Manny Schultz gives a little back pat to Brock Bierenkopf because Manny wasn't going to take him to the ground, but Cade said, I'm going to push you there.
Again, Steve, that drive is exactly what we had talked about in the first half, where this Royal team wears you down. And for 48 minutes of football, it's going to be tough for, I think, another Division 7 team to be able to consistently come up and tackle them if you have players that are playing both ways. Like, if you find that there's not a lot of, if your school doesn't have a lot of just defenders only, if they have a lot of two-way players, by the time you get to the end of the game with the size of this Royals team and the amount of backs they throw at you, it's just hard to go ahead and figure that somebody's going to tackle them all game long.
Assumption almost flagged for a delay game on a PAT. Kubas up and good, 41-6 Assumption. We'll keep it right here. We'll take a look at that touchdown gallop by Cade's Stats. I'll just run it. There we go. Yep. That's all right. 41-6. We got running clock the rest of the way. 35 points, right?
35 points, high school football. So anytime in the third quarter it's at 35 points or greater, it runs until it comes down below. And the fourth quarter in high school football, anytime it's above 35 points, so if the quarter starts at 35, it'll run through. So even if Pacelli gets a score, the clock will now continue to go ahead and run for the remainder of the ball game.
So 6:50 to go. Assumption will punch that ticket to the postseason. And number one priority, get into the playoffs. Number two for Assumption, maybe have some school history here today, clinching their first ever conference title. They've been in like 3 or 4 football conferences since joining the WIAA, but Central Wisconsin Small is theirs here in 2022.
Yeah, so again, you think about that, Steve, that obviously Assumption was a WISA team. I believe we actually won the WISA state title back in 73, 79. 70-something in terms of where it goes. A little bit prior to Paul. Look at it this way. I like to call that BP time before Paul. Anyway, then you're looking at joining the WIA. When they've come into the WIA, they've been in conferences like the Merriwood with football powers such as Abbotsford, Edgar, Stratford, Marathon. So you've had some really good Assumption teams that have not been able to kind of get over that particular hump. Last year, you look at the Central Wisconsin Small Conference. Pacelli was one of the state powers, went undefeated in terms of where it goes. So a pretty special accomplishment for this group of seniors and for the Royals to be able to capture a conference title and really set themselves up for a potential 1 or 2 seed, looking down the road if they can continue this run come postseason time.
Yeah, we'll talk to some of the seniors in our Nationville area postgame show at the conclusion of this game as freshmen, as a big run there by Ben Westrick. He pushes Mason Kubas out of the way, continues the stiff arm. Kubas is going to drag him out of bounds But Ben Westbrook, another nice return for the Pacelli Cardinals.
Westbrook has watched Manny Schultz. He's watched Nick Lieberg. He's watched Kate Statz do that all day long to his Pacelli teammates. He's like, hey, I can do this in terms of where it goes. What a terrific kick return. And again, credit to Pacelli.
Yep.
You could have taken that. They could have hung their hat. It's homecoming. It didn't go exactly the way they wanted to. They're not going ahead and hanging their head. And again, maybe the best sign of all, number 3, Van Order back on the field for Pacelli. That's a fantastic sign and a wonderful thing. As you know, his injury looked a little scary. Nice to see him out there fighting through it.
Yeah, absolutely. As miscommunication on that one though, as Chase Lieberg and a handful of other Royals with the tackle. But again, this freshman or this senior team. Or this senior class, as freshmen in 2000, goodness, what is it? Year is it now? 2019 it would have been, right? They were 0-9. And so, 2020 obviously got a shortened season. 21, they had to deal with, you mentioned Pacelli, Iola Scandinavia in there as well with their athletes, Parker Prawl most notably. And this year had a team that has been on destined for a good season is going to be eaten up there by the Royals' defense. Third down coming up for Pacelli.
Really cool to go ahead and see for the Royals, not only for the seniors, but it's nice to see some of those, the program being able to build through. We talked a little bit about Walker Livernash getting a chance to go ahead and pick up some minutes. Chase Lieberg has played sparingly as a freshman for the Royals to be able to kind of come in and help through. They really have gotten contributions from a lot of different folks. Just really a cool day to be a Royal. Yep. Every day is a good day to be a Royal, but today is an especially good day.
We'll have an opportunity to talk to head coach Jeff Sullivan as Brock Bierncott gets stood up there by Joey Moyer, brought down. Fourth down coming up for Pacelli. We'll have an opportunity to talk to head coach Jeff Sullivan and maybe a handful of Assumption seniors, including the big fella, Kenny Golai. We'll make sure we put Kenny in the house at the conclusion of this game.
Steve, I would probably catch Kenny at the very end, give him a chance to he's probably catching his breath at this point. So, but hopefully in about another 15 minutes, he'll have his breath caught so he can be in the house in terms of where that goes.
Community Insurance is your independent agency able to shop and compare the best insurance options on your behalf to find the best combination of costs and coverage. If you're looking for a better insurance experience, you'll love doing business with Community Insurance. Bierncott taken down by Kate Statz. Turnover on downs, and now Chase Lieberg will have a shot here at quarterback for the Royals with 3:45 to go. Again, appreciate everyone tuning in this afternoon. You've been watching high school football on Zaleski Sports for Brendan Retzloff, Paul J. Glinski. This is Steve Maves here at beautiful Gerke Field in Stevens Point. Assumption back in action next Friday night. They'll host the Loyal Greyhounds. Week 8, we will not, just to give you a heads up, if you're an Assumption Royal fan, we will not be making the trip to Webster in 2 weeks. We will have a link to our friends from the WIAA network that cover Webster. Assumption will be flagged here for a delay game, but we will have a link to the friends from the WIAA network that cover Webster. That game is a 5 o'clock kickoff, so Assumption isn't getting back to Wisconsin Rapids at midnight. But
I think they're actually leaving for Webster at midnight, though, which is kind of an interesting twist in terms of where it goes. And again, just to make sure that for all of our Royal folks listening, it's not a matter of that we wouldn't make the trip to Webster, because obviously we're happy to go ahead and cover the football all the way. Certain schools have certain contractual relationships, not to get into it, but that's why that game will not be broadcast live on Zaleski Sports. And you won't get the outstanding commentary that you've been getting today between Steve and I, so it's no replay probably available on that day either, I'm venturing to guess, Steve.
Yeah, we will have Wisconsin Rapids Lincoln homecoming that night against Appleton West, actually, for our viewing friends.
Rapids Lincoln with a huge W last night, setting up a monster ball game this week with Marshfield and Rapids really having a chance. Rapids still has a chance to go ahead and earn a share of that conference title. You could have that three-way situation, same way they actually had last year, where you had that each team with one loss. Rapids has got a shot to take a look at it there. I assume that game's going to be on Zaleski Sports next Friday?
Yep, absolutely. Kudos to Marshfield at senior high. They were picked to finish last in the Valley Football Association, and Chase Lieberg's going to be body slammed.
Well, you get those prognosticators and those people that pick games like Dan Ross that think that they know what's going on, but they underestimate the heart of an athlete in terms of where that goes. And every now and then, even our experts like Dan, they get that wrong. So it's one of those deals where it's been fun to watch the Tigers put things together. Obviously, Wausau West having a great year. And in Rapids Lincoln, after some early season tests, has really seemed to get it going. It should be a fun game. You got an early pick for the folks at home between Marshall and the Lincoln?
I do not. I will let the play or the game play itself out.
Well, I'm willing to step on the limb. I'm going to take the Raiders for a 27-24 victory next week. So I'm willing to hop out on the limb, and if not, you can contact Jason Zaleski to let him know that I was wrong. So
Kate Stats falls near and close to a first down. No, it's going to be fourth down coming up for Wisconsin Rapids Assumption. 45 seconds left in this one, and we will run things out here as Coach Sullivan looks to the sideline.
I was wondering if Coach Sullivan was going to end up with the old Gatorade bath for the first conference title. I've been kind of looking over there to see if maybe the seniors have gotten near it. It does not appear like that's going to happen, unfortunately.
And Coach Sullivan looking to see if they need to run another play. 20 seconds left. Put the conference title graphic up there. All the way at the bottom. And with 10 seconds left, the Assumption Royals will kneel it out, and they will knock off the Pacelli Cardinals here this afternoon, 41-6. The Royals into the playoffs, and for the first time in school history, will claim a conference title here in 2022. Royals 41, Pacelli 6. It is Nasonville Dairy postgame showtime here on Zaleski Sports. We'll have an opportunity to talk to head coach Jeff Sullivan and the rest of the seniors here on Zaleski Sports. Back to Gerke after this.
On behalf of the Pacelli Athletic
Nasonville Dairy, family owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties and cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Nasonville Dairy, located just southwest of Marshfield on US Highway 10, NasonvilleDairy.com. All right, so we're here with Kim Hyman. Kim, Nasonville Dairy, 125 years in the making. Tell us about that.
You know, it's fantastic. It was the first plant built in Wood County back in 1885. Sal Nason and his family came here, and they started a small dairy plant. Eventually that plant burnt down, but then they rebuilt onto this same facility, and our family moved here in the late 60s in 1968 and took it over from there, and it's been just a fantastic growth. Great community, great people we have working for us. Oh, it's an open market. It's huge. You know, the opportunity for the diversity in the cheese industry is fantastic, and you have to be that way in order to sell a lot of product. And so we've got a great group of people working on the research and development side for us. So it's been really fortunate for us. Oh, right. We have 185 farm families that market their milk through us here at Nasonville Dairy. And we are so lucky we have like the best dairy farms in not only in central Wisconsin, but in the United States, marketing milk through us. So we're just really fortunate on that side.
Actually, we started in 1968. Our father brought us here from another cheese plant in Wisconsin. We had come from the cheese business. We've always been in the business. We had moved around the state in different parts. He brought us here about that time. The plant ran 7,500 pounds of milk at that time, and now runs about 1.5 million a day. So. We originally started out with making cheddar, and now we make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmers Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Friar, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafflettieri, Cafla Graviera, as well as making some Gouda Edam and a little bit of Munster on occasion.
Good afternoon, and welcome back to Gorky Field here as the Assumption Royals are victorious today as they beat the Pacelli Cardinals. Assumption 41, Pacelli 6. Again, a couple things as Coach Sullivan is taking a look at it. First of all, shout out and congratulations to the Royals who captured their first football conference title in school history on a pretty special day for the seniors and Coach Sullivan. So the Royals are playoff bound. I thought Pacelli really played a good ball game today. I know that the final score turned out to be running clock and 35 points, but I thought for Pacelli on their homecoming, they fought hard. There was a couple key plays in this game, including a pressure by Jorgensen that ended up in a pick six by Kenny Golad, of all folks, for a huge touchdown, which really swung the momentum in this game. But again, it was 14-6 at the half, and Pacelli was in this thing. They gave up that touchdown. It was 14-6 right before the half. They gave up the long touchdown to Joey Moyer, which pushed that lead out. And then Pacelli came out of the locker room. They took the kickoff return down the field, and they got stopped on a 4th and 1. And again, it was Kenny Golot that made that play, got in the backfield. And then Assumption just methodically marched that ball down the field. And at that point, they opened it up. But if you're Pacelli, I think this is something where Coach Nelson has to feel pretty encouraged about, where the Cardinals can build off of this win. It's one of those deals, I think if they would see Assumption again, they can honestly tell themselves, we are a couple plays away where we can win this particular ball game. And again, next week they get the forfeit win over Wild Rose, who's gone the 8-man format. They play Kingdom Lutheran Prep here at Gerke next Saturday. Then they go to Iola, which is a game where Iola's a little bit down this year. I think that's a winnable game for them. And they finish at Loyal, and Loyal's had their struggles. So, again, Pacelli's going to be a playoff team. Nothing to really hang their head about. And maybe the best news of the day, and again, you can see it down in the huddle, Van Order, who looked like he perhaps had a little bit of a scary injury, healthy. For the Royals, it's got to be a day of hugs and celebrations. As Steve talked about, for this group of seniors, they've gone from a very tough beginning to conference championships, and it looks like we're going to go ahead and get an opportunity to talk with Coach Sullivan right now. So let's go ahead and take it down to the field.
With Assumption head coach, a nice win today. Obviously, a lot of things to check off the list. Conference title. Punching your ticket to the playoffs. Just talk about how special the win here today is.
Yeah, so all that set aside, it's nice to finally get Pacelli. Good team. They've been a good team for a long time, and they just proud of our guys. How I felt all three facets of the game. They really played well in and dominated, and got a couple turnovers there, which were huge. Bend not break kind of mentality there on D a little bit, and got a couple turnovers each time, and we were able to capitalize that and punch it in.
We talked about it on the broadcast. The 2-minute drive, obviously at the end of the first half, they scored a touchdown. Just the perseverance that Jack had, offensive line, running backs, and then the big touchdown at the end.
Yeah, would we throw that in there?
Yeah.
That one? Yeah. Can't remember all that stuff. Anyways, but yeah, that was nice to respond to that, that touchdown that they scored and go up at, half at 14. That was huge there, and then we stop them second half, get the ball back and score right away then too. So they really responded well, I thought, to everything there, and hats off to the coaches there with getting those D guys ready and special teams guys ready. It's got a special thing brewing here, and we just got to keep rolling.
Perfect. Thanks, Coach. See you next week against
Steve.
Loyal.
Yeah.
If you could, geez, Kenny's already gone. If you could bring Kenny Golot over here.
Okay.
That'd be appreciated.
Kenny!
We'll bring over Kenny Golot here in just a moment. Kenny! Big senior scoring a touchdown here tonight. All right. Let Kenny get his shining moment here tonight. Bring Kenny in the house over here. No worries. Bring in Kenny Golot here. Defense lineman. We're just going to have a little conversation here. Obviously, getting a big win over Pacelli is always nice. Just talk about finally getting over that hump to take down Pacelli.
It's unexplainable. The emotions, it's crazy. I've had my butt whooped, personally, by a couple of guys for a couple of years in a row now, and it's It's overwhelming.
And obviously, the biggest play of the game, maybe the biggest play of the year, touchdown,
hope so.
touchdown on the interception.
Oh,
Just talk about what you saw and what was going through your mind.
Well, I got in the backfield, caught the ball, and I don't remember anything after that. I really don't.
And just talk. We talked about it on the broadcast. Obviously, as freshmen, you guys were 0-9. Now conference champs, and punching your ticket to the playoffs again. How special is this crew?
Oh, it's insane. From the start, we've been special. Coach has been telling us that we have the potential to win, but we haven't won. This year is our year. We haven't been this much of a powerhouse in a while, and I love these guys. And I give a lot of thanks to our coaches, too. They're always there for us, always backing us.
All right, we're going to put you in the house, all right?
All right.
I'm going to give you this. Just left. Yeah, they're waving to you.
All right.
I'm going to back up, and I'm going to count you down 3, 2, 1. You know what to do. Just say your name and say I'm in the house.
All right.
All right. You ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1.
I'm Kenny Goat, and I'm in the house.
Congratulations, Kenny.
Thank you, sir.
See you next week. Thank
See
you.
ya.
With that, we're going to sign things off here from Gerke Field in Stevens Point. It is a historic afternoon here in Stevens Point. Assumption, conference champions for the first time in school history, and they are going to the postseason. Again, 41-6 Royals. Highlights of this game later on tonight on Facebook at Zaleski Sports. For Brendan Retzloff and Paul Jaglinski, this is Steve Mave signing off from Gerke Field. Again, final score, Assumption 41 and the Pacelli Cardinals 6. Have a great rest of your weekend, everyone. We'll talk to you again next week right here exclusively on Zaleski Sports.